Playmakers, the daily sports bulletin from the bridge that brings you the big news and the top plays from the world of Indian sports.
Hello and welcome to the Playmakers. My name is Rahul Karkal. In the Playmakers today, we've got news from football where Mohun Bagan has escaped sanctions and Bengaluru has just hosted the world's first 11K Footpath Run. Our top story of the night comes from Indian football, where the Asian Football Confederation, or the AFC, has decided not to fine or penalise Mohun Bagan supergiant for their withdrawal from the AFC Champions League 2, the Confederation announced on Saturday. Mohun Bagan SG had pulled out of their AFC Champions League 2 away game against Tractor FC of Iran, scheduled for October 2, citing the safety and security of players in keeping with the volatile situation in West Asia. However, Mohun Bagan SG will stay withdrawn from the league according to clauses 5.5 and 5.6 of the AFC Champions League 2 competition regulations, which states, and I quote, "In the event that a participating club withdraws from the competition, whether before or after commencement of the competition as applicable, the competition shall continue with the remaining participating clubs and matches without any replacement," unquote. Joining me now from Kerala is our journalist, Ashwati Santosh. Ashwati, thank you for joining us live tonight. I just wanted to understand from you, are there any positives from the verdict for Mohun Bagan or India for that matter?
Hi Rahul, absolutely there are some positives here. The AFC's decision not to penalise Mohan Bagan means that there won't be any negative impact on India's coefficient points. The coefficient points are crucial for our representation on the continental stage, especially with East Bengal qualifying for the Asian Challenge League quarterfinals with 2 wins. Our position has improved and we have moved up to the 8th place in the AFC rankings for the West region. Had Mohan Bagan been penalised, it could have had a disastrous effect on our standings.
Well, it's a bit of a bittersweet verdict, isn't it? So, what's next really now for Mohun Bagan?
Yeah, it is true that it's a bittersweet moment for now, but Mohan Bagan will have to remain withdrawn from the AFC Champions League 2, and the games they were supposed to play will be considered null and void, which means we will not have any more coefficient points. But at the same time, they have a passionate fan base and they will need to regroup and focus on to the domestic league so that they can focus on to qualifying for the next year's AFC competitions.
So quite simply, they regroup and focus their energies on the ISL.
Yes. Thank you for having me, Rahul. Goodbye.
All right. Thanks, Ashwati, for that report. That was Ashwati Santosh, our Kerala-based journalist. News from boxing now, and India's Krishna Verma has clinched a gold medal on Friday at the inaugural Under-19 World Boxing Championships organized by the World Boxing in Colorado, USA. Krishna Verma defeated Lerica Simon of Germany 5-0 in the women's 75 kilogram category to win the gold medal. However, 5 other Indians who were in contention for gold medals went down in their respective finals. Chanchal Chowdhury went down to Ruby White of England in the women's 48 kilogram category. Also, Anjali Singh in the 57 kg category, Vinny in the women's 50 kilograms, Akansha Palaswal in the 70 kilograms, and Rahul Kundu in the men's 75 kg category all suffered losses to pick up silver medals. On Saturday night, 5 more women will be in contention for gold medals. News from Argentina now, and for a change, it's not football, but Argentina is hosting the 16th World Bridge Games, and the Indian senior team has reached the finals by beating Sweden 195 to 129. The Indian team, comprising of Kamal Mukherjee, Vibhas Todi, Badal Das, Pranab Bardhan, Arun Bapat, Ravi Goenka, will take on the US in the summit clash. Elsewhere in hockey, the Delhi SG Pipers announced on Saturday that they have acquired the services of English midfielder and women's hockey superstar Lily Owsley for the upcoming Hockey India League season. Lily Owsley is a highly decorated player, having won 2 medals at the Olympic Games, including a gold medal in the 2016 Rio Olympics and a bronze in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics for Great Britain. Besides being a two-time Olympic medalist, Owsley has also won gold and silver in the 2022 and 2014 Commonwealth Games, respectively. She will replace the 28-year-old Dutch midfielder Zander Ward after she pulled out from the Hockey India League due to personal reasons. News from badminton now, and at the BWF Super 300 tournament in Heilo, Germany, Ayush Shetty came to an end, or rather his run at the tournament came to an end in the semi-finals. Ayush was beaten by France's Christo Popov 17-21 and 13-21. India still, however, has Maldika Bansod in the fray, and she'll take on Julie Jacobsen of Denmark later tonight for a spot in the final. And finally, news from Bangalore now, where the city has just hosted the world's first 11K footpath run on Friday. This one-of-a-kind run brought citizens and elected leaders together to both experience and pledge to improve civic amenities. Joining me now live from Bangalore is Arun Pai, who conceptualized the run. Arun, thank you very much for joining us live on the Playmakers tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Rahul.
Arun, we've seen cross-country runs before. We've also seen marathons, but why organize a footpath run?
See, the thing is that when sports is normally done for personal glory, I'm an amateur runner, and I always felt that if I can use my energy to help my city, because I'm a user of the infrastructure, why not do that? And so for a long time, I've always teamed up with other runners in Bangalore, and we've helped the city administration doing things like cleanups, inspections, because if you're anyway expending so much energy, why not do it for a cause? And that's when the idea came that it is safe for people, including runners, to actually walk on footpaths. And if the users of footpaths actually go out and rate them, it's a great help for the city administration. And so, we combine 2 or 3 ideas that we like to run. So we're out anyway. We do it because we like it. We love the city. Bangalore has great weather. We've got decent footpaths in some areas, but they need maintenance. They need, some sort of obstacle removals. And so we are teaming up with the city government and saying, let's conduct runs, and runs only on footpaths, because that then creates pressure on the administration to ensure that the footpath is walkable and actually navigable. And if I can run on a footpath, then clearly other people can walk. So by, pushing the limits a bit and saying, let's run 11 kilometers. Why 11? Because yesterday was the, anniversary of the formation of Karnataka state. So November 1st is an important date. So 11 was an auspicious number, so we chose 11K. And it is the world's longest footpath run. As far as I know, there are no organized footpath runs anywhere in the world. And the rules I gave the participants, which included people who were 10 years old, a skater came, she said, I want to skate on the footpaths. We had a 70-year-old woman. We had armed folks from the army, from the police, from the marshals, citizens. A motley crowd of people showed up. And the rules were simple. I said, if you leave the footpath, you're disqualified. It's like race walking, right? There are 2 or 3 penalties and you're out. But if you had to leave the footpath because there's an obstacle, please justify your decision by taking a photograph of that obstacle. So as the result of this, we had 60 people who ran or walked 11 kilometers, counted the number of times they had to leave the footpath, took documentary evidence, and all this was given back to the BBMP, which is the Bangalore administration, who was very much part of this project, who said, great. I mean, what more? I give an example often, like when we rate restaurants on an app or we rate a movie, we just give a rating. Why can't we rate civic amenities as users? And so what was interesting about yesterday's run was that 60 people completed 11 kilometers. And at the end, they had to give a rating by saying the number of times they had to leave the footpath. Very simple number. So that was the score. And interestingly, the score of most people was between 4 to 6. So essentially, in 11 kilometers in Bangalore, they had to leave the footpath 5 or 6 times, which is frankly quite incredible. And that's because This run was planned in partnership with the BBMP. Their engineers, their solid waste management folks are also walkers and runners. So this appeals also to the individuals in the government who themselves care for their own health and they care for their city. And so by involving the city administration in a very novel way, let's go out, let's do something on the ground. There's something very appealing about going out in the fresh air and walking and running. And when it's organized well, and it also contributes to a solution. Just compare sitting in a room on Zoom, in a conference room with 20 people give you reports and say, on this map, on this geotag, there is a problem. It's very hard. You cannot relate to it. However, imagine if the whole administration says we'll all go for a 10-kilometer outing. We can actually see the problem. And, if you're in the system and you know that people are coming, you also say, let me make sure it works. So in a way, it puts pressure on the system to deliver on services. The system always says that we have infrastructure, people don't use it enough. So in a way, by getting everyone out, many, many birds are killed with one stone. Wrong phrase to use, but still. So that's the impetus. And what is nice is that the response has been excellent. We ran in a constituency called Shivajinagar in Bangalore. The MLA, Rizwan Arshad, is a young, fit guy. He came, he ran. And we also had the Secretary to the Government of Karnataka for Youth Affairs and Sports, Randeep, who completed the entire 11 kilometers. We also had the Zonal Commissioner of BBMP, Snehal, who is so committed that she came and made a commitment to all the people that please do the 11 kilometers and please give me feedback on all the problems and I will fix it. This is very interesting when at 7 in the morning you have civic administration officers, IAS officers, MLAs all showing up in sports gear to actually do a physical activity, but with a civic cause. So, somehow it has come together very well. And so now we have done 11K. So obviously next we're going to do a half marathon. So you'll soon have the world's first half marathon on a footpath. There is a deeper purpose here. Last month, I took on a challenge. It was called the Bangalore Footpath Challenge, where I said I will run 100 kilometers on footpaths in 15 days, just 10 kilometers a day. And we charted out a route that covered most important parts of the city. I have a lot of running buddies and many of them accompanied me on these runs. We videotaped every step of our run and put it on our YouTube channel. So this is actually data. Now, in today's world, data is what everybody wants. So as a runner, I can provide data on usability of a footpath. If I simply run on it, that's enough data for an urban expert to see if it's okay or not. I'm just a runner. So the larger point is that we have a large number of people who expend energy for their own health. Can we find a way to make this, energy of theirs useful for the city for two reasons? One is it's a huge pool of manpower that is willing to go out and inspect and do stuff, and they're happy to do it. They don't need to be paid. In fact, they'll be happy to do it. It's great. The other thing is that we are all users of the infrastructure. We want good roads. We want good footpaths. What are we doing to help for that? It's one thing to pay taxes and to vote, but supposing I say, every day I'm going to look at 10 kilometers and give a report back to the concerned officer. Isn't that great? Because otherwise the officer has to probably hire someone to do it. Governments are under budget constraints. So what's nice here is that in Bangalore, since we've been doing it for many years now, we have developed a relationship with all levels of the civic administration who understand that by collaborating with citizens who wish to actually put sweat in collaboration with government, you can actually solve problems. And so the good news is this. We did a 10-kilometer run on October 2nd on Gandhi Jayanti as a pilot, and we did an 11-kilometer run yesterday. So we've done 21 kilometers, which means 21 kilometers of continuous loops in Bangalore have been tested by 100 people. I actually want to throw a challenge to the other cities in India. Can any city offer 20 kilometers of continuous footpaths where they challenge their citizens to come and walk and rate it? And we are offering to go to any city and run if the city invites us. So we hope that this forms a trend where the athletes, the runners, and why runners? Any athlete. I'll give you one more interesting thing. A lot of people want to do 10,000 steps a day, right? Not athletes, but folks who want to stay fit. And they go to a gym or they go to a park. And, we say, why don't you just walk to work or walk on the streets? And they say there are no footpaths. So if you are actually able to, create connected walkable footpaths, you can actually get people moving for their personal healthcare and exercise needs. And there are a whole lot of benefits for the city. One is it decongests the city. In Bangalore today, a lot of people drive if they have to go a kilometer away. Walking a kilometer should be absolutely normal. But because we drive short distances, so what's interesting is that whether it's the traffic police who likes this idea because it decongests the city, it reduces pedestrian fatalities. The sports department is saying this is a wonderful way to get people out to use public infrastructure. You don't necessarily have to go to a stadium to run. Imagine if we could actually run on our footpaths. And, we've made some fascinating discoveries in Bangalore. There are so many, hidden gems. You might get 500 meters of beautiful footpath that nobody uses. And 500 meters is great because you can just run up and down and get a kilometer. So if your aim is to basically, get exercise and fresh air, you don't necessarily need to go to a park. So the sort of unintended benefits of this are many. I'll give you a couple of anecdotes because everyone who comes with an open mind and they come back with some very interesting perspective. One of my friends, his name is Tom. His family says, don't run on the road. It's not safe, and which is true. When I drive my car or my bike and I see a runner with earphones and music and running in the opposite direction, it is actually dangerous for the runner. When you start running on a footpath, it's your own safety is assured. And secondly, the motorist safety is also assured. A runner can be a hazard to a two-wheeler, for example. And so one person has said, I'm just going to change my running habits and I'm going to run on footpaths. So now we are saying, fine, we'll come up with lists of footpaths that are runnable. We're trying to figure out if we can build an app that can plug into Strava or any other running app where, all you say is, I want to run on the footpath, and it tells you, here are the, runnable footpaths. So in this 11K run, I put my name out and said, like a typical race director for a marathon, the race director has to go and certify that the route is, okay. I actually ran this route on the previous day and certified that it is runnable. And, and 60 people who came had to agree or disagree. And at the end of the race, at the end of the run, everyone said, we did not expect to see so many nice footpaths. So what's also nice is, when people actually see, the problem, I think, is that we've got a lot of negative perceptions that our footpaths are bad, it's dangerous, it's crowded. But, it's all about occupying. If we occupy the footpath, if we are pedestrians or runners, things will happen. Another very interesting thing happened was in the field of mobility, people talk about how to move vehicles quickly from A to B. Let's have signal-free corridors. Let's have automated traffic lights. But there is no equivalent authority to decide, I want a footpath that is free of obstacles. So we came up with a new idea called obstacle-free footpath, OFF. And, I jokingly said, I am the footpath mayor of Bangalore. Anyone can be. I'm very happy to give the post to anybody else. But if someone starts saying we are the footpath, spokespeople, and we are also runners and athletes, so we can do 10, 15 kilometers easily, I'm hopeful that this is the first of many footpath runs in Bangalore and across the country. And, this is the first interview I'm giving. It's November 2nd, and maybe footpath running will become a thing. And, this will be the first one. So thanks for having me on.
That's a fantastic initiative, Arun, and let's hope to see more such activities, not just in Bangalore, but I know that the challenge has now been thrown to the other cities as well, and let's hope that the trend really catches on. Arun Pai, thank you very much for the initiative, and thanks for joining us live on the Playmakers tonight.
Thank you, Rahul.
And that's all that I have for you on the Playmakers tonight. Do follow thebridge.in for our continued coverage of Indian sports. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and hit the bell icon as well to be notified every time we bring you the news live on YouTube. My name's Rahul Kargal. Thanks for joining. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.